Hi, everyone.
Hi.
All right, it is Friday. That means it's the end of our week and we're getting ready for our weekend. But before we start getting excited for the weekend, we still have a few more things we need to do to practice and make sure that we are learning throughout the week. So today, Miss Yakimowicz was going through her library and actually at school. And so she went through, found all of these books in her closet because she has a big collection of chapter books. So she was sorting them and she wanted to count the books that she had in her box. So these were all of the books she found in her box in her storage closet. So I wanted to show, I stacked them up and I wanted to ask the teachers, what's a great way we can count this collection of books? So teachers, whenever you have an idea, I'm going to use pink today. All right. Miss T, how can we group our collection?
Well, I saw that the books are organized in a stack of 11 books. So maybe groups of 11 and then one group of 4.
Oh, perfect. So they're already in stacks, so why not utilize those stacks into groups? So we have 3 stacks on the top of 11, or 4, sorry, 4 stacks on the top, and then 3 stacks of 11 on the bottom. And then lastly, we have our leftover books. These could not complete a whole stack of 11. They were just my leftovers. So I had 1, 2, 3, 4 leftovers. So they will be their own little group. All right, so now we showed how we're going to group them by circling each of the groups. And that's what we do on our first page. And then I'm going to go to my second page to start recording how I'm going to count my collection. So teachers, can you give me an idea? What can we do, or can you help me out? What's the first thing we do when we have a counting collection? So first, we obviously show the groups. What's the next thing we do, our second step? Miss Hernandez.
You need to indicate what objects are you counting in this collection.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So I want to make sure that I let my other mathematicians know what objects I'm counting, because they're not going to be able to understand what I counted if they're going to see my recording. So I'm going to put books, and I want to make it smaller. All right, and we don't know how many items yet. That's what we're trying to figure out. So we have our name, we have the items that we're counting, and now it's the next step, Ms. Rosales.
We draw our groups and draw our numbers.
Perfect. So we want to make sure that we're drawing our groups. And in the first page, we can see that there are 4 groups on the top. So I'm going to show my groups. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you, Ms. Rosales, for showing me a visual. And then we have the 3 groups of 11 on the bottom, and then our last group of 4. And so we want to show how many items are in each collection. We could draw them, but it's not as efficient as just writing the number, right? That's more efficient because it's faster. So 11 in this group, 11, 11, 11, 11, 11, and then that group of 4. We need to remember that that's not a full group of 11. All right, so now we showed how we grouped our collection and we wrote how many items are in each collection. What is our next step? Ms. Rosales, what's our next step?
All right, we're going to go ahead and show our totals counting on, but Ms. Yakimowicz, this is 11, and I was thinking we couldn't decompose that 11 and do 10 and 1 more.
Perfect. So we can use decomposing in this counting collection. So we have 11. If we break that up into 10s and 1s, just like Ms. Rosales said, we have 1 10 plus 1 1, which makes 11. 10 plus 1 make 11. So how can we use this decomposing strategy to help us figure out, Ms. Rosales, how many items are in our collection altogether?
So then we start with our first circle, and we know that there's 11 right there.
Mm-hmm.
And then we draw our arrow showing the connection. And then we ask ourselves, well, what's 11 and 10 more? 11 and 10 more is 21, plus 1 more is 22.
Ooh.
So we're adding 10 and then 1 more.
Perfect. So now we have 22. Let's do that. So what we're going to be doing is adding 10 and then the 1 more. Okay. So 22 plus 10 is
32.
32 plus 1 more is
33.
Perfect. All right, now we have to do it again. 33 plus 10 more is
43.
43. Plus 1 more is 41. 44. Sorry, I'm so off. Okay, 44. And then we go from 44 to another 11. 44 plus 10 more is 54. Plus 1 more is 55. And I'm noticing something about these numbers. They're just the same number in the tens place and the ones place. The digit is the same. That's so interesting. Let's see if this pattern continues. All right, 55 plus 10 more is 65. 65 plus 1 more is 66. Continuing. All right, one more. 66 plus 10 is 76. Plus 1 more is 77. And then now we have our last group, 77 plus 4 more. So 77, 4, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81. Okay, so we have a total of 81 books in our collection. All right, so now I showed my groups. I showed how many items in my group. I showed how I counted the total number of items in my collection. What is my last step, Miss T?
You need an equation.
An equation. And what can my equation be in this case?
It would be 11 plus 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 4 equals 81. So there'd be 7 groups of 11 and 1 group of 4.
All right, let me see. I have 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh, I was only one behind. And then 4 equals 81. And that is my total. And then I want to make sure that it's clear so everyone can see. And so here we use decomposing to help us figure out how many items are in our collection. So I hope that you are able to do this on your own. You can use a decomposing strategy, or you can use a different strategy to figure out how many items in your collection. Remember, you are always going to get the same items, right? The same collection, which are books, except your number is going to be a little different than ours. So I'm excited to see your collection. Remember, there are important things in our collection, our counting collection recording sheet that we are looking for. We're looking for your name. We're looking for the items that you collected, the total number of items in your collection, the groups, exactly how you group them in the first page, and then the number of items in each group. You could decide if you want to be efficient and write the number, or you can draw how many books, but it's not the most efficient. We are trying to move away from that because the bigger our collection, the harder it's going to be to continue writing, drawing each of those items in your groups. And then we also want to see how many totals we have, plus your number sentence. So those are the expectations we have for you. If you want that 4, you are going to have your collection looking just like ours. Push yourself to do your best, and we believe in you. We know you can do it. So you have to believe in yourself. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you in a little bit. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Don't forget to subscribe.